Tucker Carlson has literally said invade Canada for what they're doing, which is what, having drag queens read children's stories. Oh my God.
Politicians are very attentive when Americans criticize.
Invade me, daddy.
Or mention them. Please, American senators and congressmen, put us on your watch list. Things are getting.
Put us on your watch list. I think, but Ezra Levant is probably already on a couple watch lists. It's a wonderful day in the homiehood, a wonderful day for a homie. Won't you be my homie to Taro? Sometimes I wish we had like some conservative outlets, Canadian outlets that we could watch and react to their coverage. Oh yeah, I guess we do have Rebel News. That is true. Do they have a YouTube? Ezra on Tucker? Oh no. This is worse than I ever could have thought. Okay, so Ezra Levant is the owner of Rebel News, right? Let's just get this straight before Ezra Levant. Okay, yeah, CEO of Rebel News. Basically the biggest piece of shit in all of Canada. Arguably top contender.
Mark of America, religious. That has always been the hallmark of America, religious liberty. It's in the First Amendment.
Yeah, well, this is Canada, motherfucker.
But in Canada, of course, that's all disappeared. Canada has now become an atheist totalitarian state with amazing speed.
What? How do you say that? How do you say that we have a stronger democracy than the US, even though it's still very weak? This is awful already. Yeah, I know. I know. We're literally like 12 seconds in, and I'm like, oh my God, what have I done?
And in Canada, it's now a crime to object to sexualized drag shows for children. You're not allowed to say a word.
They're not drag shows. It's drag story time. There's a difference.
Last month, a pastor in Calgary was violently thrown out of an all-ages, in other words, for children, drag.
Good. Get him out of there.
Queen Story Hour for daring to object to the sexualization of children. Watch this.
We are now calling the police.
He's fine. Like, and who threw him out anyways? Does anybody know about this story? I feel like I saw it on Twitter, but I never got like the full scoop. All right, if you could take a look, I would appreciate that. They told the defenders and these guys to leave, but just the defenders left. They had no clue he got back in and was causing this mess. It's going to suggest McLean's are a conservative source, but they don't do video. The last YouTube video they uploaded was from a year ago. Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, any journalist outlet like worth their salt is not going to cover this trash.
We have the police coming.
But here we are on My Homie Tutaro watching.
So it is your choice to leave or deal with the police.
So that's the video. That's what happened.
I mean, if you were being a dick and you got thrown to the ground, then like, is that news?
Who committed the violence in that video? The guy on the ground was the pastor.
I mean, we don't see what happened before they got to the door, so.
Before we answer the question, some context will remind you that in Canada, showing any disloyalty at all to the Trudeau government could get your bank account frozen and your truck seized. So
yeah, that's how it works. If the moment you say, hey, you know what, I'm thinking about voting for not Trudeau, they just freeze your bank account.
You're not surprised to learn that that man on the ground, whose name is Pastor Derek Reimer, who showed profound disrespect for Justin Trudeau's ongoing efforts to sexualize children and mutilate the genitals of children, woke up yesterday to the police banging.
Is that what happened? Is that what happened? Just lying so hard. Okay, so here's the full video. We got the full video. 1.4 minutes at least. I don't know. It's hard to say full video. Obviously, this video is not going to give us the full context. Derek Reimer, more like Derek Weiner, am I right? Who caused a disturbance at a drag storytime event at the YMCA last weekend, has been charged with mischief and causing a disturbance by the Calgary police. They visited his home to inform him of his arrest. Okay, wait, this is the visit to his home? Okay, and then this is the video, thank you chat, of him getting thrown out. Minutes before the above clip, Reimer entered the Reading with Royalty event room. This happened right after a couple, each with a toddler in their arms, left the event. One said to her partner, "Let's go because our kids are not safe." Reimer's intimidation worked. I'm livid. So yeah, he's like, "Hey, our kids aren't safe because of Reimer." They blurted out because of the kids. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so you can see there's a couple leaving. With their kid. With a kid. I don't know if they're siblings or different.
On this wickedness and what's taking place here in our city. And we're coming down to more and more of these shows to say that this is not okay, that this is wrong, that this is evil. To have a pervert dressed up like that is wrong and evil. You stop yelling in the library.
I love that they're just like, could you stop yelling in the library? Like, sir, this is a library. If you could kindly shut the fuck up, that'd be great.
Children, don't believe this sexual agenda is sweeping the city and the globe, and we got to come against this. We got to stand against this. Now is the time. Now is the time where we need to stand up.
It's a story time. They are the ones who are making people feel unsafe. So obviously the police agree. They showed up at this person's house. Let's see.
Hello? Yeah.
I love how he's filming this. He's like, let me just film myself getting arrested, I guess. He's like, so that everyone can watch.
Oh, hi.
Derek, I'm calling from Mass News CPS. Can we talk about what happened on the weekend?
Why are you showing up at my home? Why are you showing up at my home?
This is where you live, right?
Why are you showing up at my home? Because this is where you live. Turn it up so you can. Okay, yeah. He's really loud though. That's why I turned it down. But the cop is kind of quiet.
Yeah, you guys could call me, or we could.
Sorry, what was that?
You could have called me.
I've been trying to.
You could have called me. I've been trying to, says the cop.
When?
This morning.
When? This morning.
Yeah, what time is it?
Get out now.
No, she's okay.
Okay. We need to talk about what happened on the weekend at Seaton, right?
Why do we need to talk about it?
Because you're going to be arrested for it and charged.
Ooh. Why do we need to talk about it? Because you're going to be arrested for it and charged.
Okay.
So we can go do it this morning, or I can just put warrants out for you.
It's like we can do it now. We can do it later.
Charged with what?
Mischief and causing a disturbance.
Charged with what? Mischief and causing disturbance.
Okay, let me get dressed.
Let me get
You
dressed
with that?
so you can
Yeah,
arrest
okay.
Yeah,
me.
you betcha. Thanks, pal.
Thanks, pal. Wow. This is like the nicest way someone's ever been arrested. They're like, yeah, you know, if you could just get dressed so I could arrest you, that would really help me out, bro. I'd prefer not to have to throw you to the ground in front of your house. So if you could just get your shoes on and get your pants on, I could just arrest you.
On his door and telling him he was going to be arrested.
Okay, yep.
Why are you showing up at my home?
Oh damn, okay. They're covering it here, but it's good that we're getting the raw footage as well. You never know how they're gonna edit these videos.
This is where you live, right?
Yeah, you guys could call me, or we could.
Sorry, what was that?
You could have called me.
I've been trying to.
When?
This morning. We need to talk about what happened on the weekend.
I love how they're like, you could have called. It's like, why didn't you just text? If you're gonna arrest me, why don't you just send me an email?
Seaton, right?
Why do we need to talk about it?
Because you're going to be arrested for it and charged.
Okay.
So we can go do it this morning, or I can just put warrants out for you.
Charged with what?
Mischief and causing a disturbance.
Oh no. I love how Fox News here, they're like, who do we stand up for? Like obviously the far right, they also like love the cops. The far right are the cops in a lot of cases. But now they're like stuck between a cop and a hard place.
Where are all the professional Christians? You have to wonder that again.
What? Where are all the professional Christians? These are professional grifters, maybe.
Where's David French and Beth Moore and Tim Keller and all these people who are defending Christianity as
Who the hell are they?
actual Christians are being arrested for being Christians? Not a word. Well, today, Pastor Derek Reimer
I wouldn't jump on this either. This is stupid.
confirmed that a warrant was out for his arrest for hate crimes, and he was right about that. He was not overstating it, because this afternoon he was literally arrested. Watch.
Then I put you under arrest for outstanding warrant. I will still make things.
Okay, it's crazy. Okay. Oh my God. This is ridiculous. So this is like, we're on Rebel News YouTube. They're showing Fox News show Rebel News. So this is just like, it's like, this is all just like Rebel News and Fox News together. Just like platforming each other in this way. Why is Tucker talking about this? They couldn't get a Canadian talking head. Well, they're about to. And it's going to be Ezra.
Is there a reason you're blocking me from using the sidewalk?
Obstruction, they're working here.
I'm not going to obstruct them.
Imagine if this was literally any other type of person who's like filming the back of a cop's neck like this, breathing on their neck. Like, man, if this was like a black or indigenous person, they would have got the baton for sure.
Don't worry, I'm not going to run.
I'm not worried about you. We're just going to stay out of their workspace.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna run. Bruh, they're not even facing you.
You mind if I ask you what he's being arrested for?
Are you going to provide your identification?
Pardon?
Will you provide your ID?
For you to answer the question?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is he being arrested?
Yes, warrants.
Warrants out for his arrest?
What a loser. Well, he provided his ID just so he could ask a question, and the question was, why did he get arrested? Because he has warrants. Oh, okay.
This is what happens when we go against the drag.
Wow.
Yeah, you're damn right. This is what happens when you go against the drag. We send the secret police to your house.
That doesn't look like the Canada you thought you knew. All Molson and
Yeah, he got trolled by the cop. I know. So hard. Like he basically was forced to identify himself. You know, like what an idiot.
sled dogs or some
Chuds, cops, chicken chuds, basically, yeah.
stormtrooper in sunglasses won't answer a question before you
Stormtrooper in sunglasses. I love this. He's basically calling cops fascists, which, you know, it's like these are like the fascists being fascists to the other fascists. It's like, okay, yeah.
provide your ID. And then the pastor sitting in a car with bars on the windows getting hauled away to jail
Oh
for being
my
thrown to the
God.
ground at drag
They're going to throw the book at him. What book? The Bible of all books.
Queen Story Hour. We're going to be joined by Pastor Derek Reimer tonight, but he is, of course, in jail. So instead, we are grateful to be joined by Ezra Levant.
What? They're like, we tried to book him, but he was already booked. He was already booked.
Of Rebel News, which filmed the tape you just saw. Ezra, thank you so much for coming up.
Yes, I can't believe they got bars on the police vehicles. I can't believe it.
It's hard to believe that this is happening in your country. Meta question first, is anyone saying anything about it other than you?
Yeah, a lot of people are saying things. You know what they're saying? Ha ha. Look at this fucking dumb motherfucker getting arrested for such a stupid reason.
Not a lot. I mean, Tucker, you have done more journalism on Christian pastors being jailed in Canada than most Canadian media. In fact, the Canadian
Oh my God. I don't think I've ever heard this man talk before. And I'm realizing that up until this point, I've been very lucky for that.
media either ignore it or cheer it on, calling these people bigots. I should say
They are bigots.
that there were no charges emanating from the Drag Queen Story Hour itself, neither against Pastor Reimer or against the three men who roughed him up. But then the left-wing mayor of Calgary went on a Twitter...
The left wing. Wait, who is the mayor of Calgary? Tell me that the mayor of Calgary is left wing. Like he's a communist, right? Okay, Mayor Joy T. Gondek. why conservative Calgary keeps electing progressive mayors. Oh, wow. So maybe she is a progressive. All right, good to know. Maybe Ezra Levant is right. That she is a left-wing mayor.
Rant saying that anyone who lies or engages in vitriol or is full of hate should be arrested and charged. Now, those aren't.
I don't think that's what they're saying. I think they're saying that if you break the law.
Crimes, by the way. Some of them are a matter of opinion. I could think that the mayor is full of hate. But after the mayor basically directed police to arrest peaceful protesters, they did. And you saw.
That's not how it works. You're as the mayor of a city, you can't just be like, arrest them. That's not how it works.
That cop, I think he was embarrassed and ashamed of what he was doing. He had sunglasses on. He was blocking our cameraman.
He didn't look embarrassed. He looked like he was like trolling the shit out of that guy.
He had that bizarre move, show me your ID before I answer a question. I think,
bruh, you know, I don't like cops, but like that was kind of funny.
He knows that he is doing something contrary to his oath as a police officer. Right now, we have a reporter.
Fascists like love this too. They're like the police are supposed to be on our side.
Staked out at the city jail because Tucker, I don't know if he's charged with mischief and causing a disturbance. Of course, he was the one who was disturbed by the roughing up. It'll be interesting to see if he gets out on bail or, like Arthur Pavlovsky, the other Christian pastor, if he'll serve 50 days in prison, which is what happened then.
I love how they give no details. They're like, he was a pastor and he served time in prison. It's like, yeah, that you're making that sound like it's not a stereotype. It sounds like it's perfectly reasonable. Give me no more details, and I'll be like, yeah, sounds about right. I think that is what they're saying. These cops hate what they are doing. I mean, yeah, in some cases, I think with the convoy in Ottawa, there was like, hey, cops are kind of like on the side of the convites. In this case, I didn't get that vibe, but they are trying to kind of like make that up. You can't just harass a room full of children. That makes sense to me. The guy got yoinked in front of a school bus. That's embarrassing.
I say this as one of the few Americans I know really who sincerely loves Canada, and I mean that.
You hope it's full? You hope? Oh my God, yeah. Can you imagine being on a school bus as a kid, and then like you see someone getting arrested? You would be like losing your mind.
But it does seem like darkness is descending on your country.
It is, and we're embracing it.
I have to say, just a few weeks ago, Justin Trudeau's martial law, where he seized bank accounts.
That means I can lie here and relax while my strength comes back to me.
Yo, thank you so much, Angel Riot. 11 months in a row. Didn't you renew your subscription the other day? But you've renewed it again. So thank you so much.
Counts and deployed riot horses because some people were honking their horns in their trucks and having a festive, peaceful opposition to the lockdowns. A judge had a lengthy inquiry and he said, thumbs up, that there was a justification for martial law.
A justification even. From what you've heard Tucker says, I seriously don't think he loves Canada. No, he wants to invade us, I think. You renewed it, but had to use Prime today. I don't know, Twitch thinks. All right, you know, make Twitch doesn't always make sense.
And so I'm telling you, Tucker, the checks and balances in Canada no longer work. The opposition parties often don't oppose. The media cheer.
Imagine thinking that Pierre Poilievre isn't being enough of a shit disturber for your like fascist agenda.
Leads. It's not skeptical or critical. The courts are of no use. Not a single lockdown law was overturned.
That does remind me, we probably have another story to cover because Pierre Poilievre is getting criticized from the far right. Oh, he means Jugme, does he? Okay, but Pierre Poilievre is getting criticized from the far right for condemning that German woman who's like a Nazi.
Called Charter of Rights and Freedoms has not struck down a single action like this. And I'm starting to think that we might need help from abroad. And so I'd say to your audience, I know you have senators and congressmen who care about civil rights and human rights in China and Iran and places like that. And I would say, please,
So they're like, hey, China is interfering with our elections. China bad, China bad. Oh my God, all day. People like Rebel News are going to be like, China is in bed with Justin Trudeau and we have communist Canada, and they'll say China. But then they'll say also in the same breath, they'll be like, please, they're about to say it.
Cast an eye up to Canada too, because I'm worried that we no longer have the capacity to push back for human rights and Canadian.
Okay, yeah. Cast an eye to Canada. Come up here. Tucker Carlson has literally said invade Canada for what they're doing, which is what, having drag queens read children's stories. Oh my God.
Politicians are very attentive when Americans criticize.
Invade me, daddy.
Or mention them. Please, American senators and congressmen, put us on your watch list. Things are getting.
Put us on your watch list. I think, but Ezra Levant is probably already on a couple watch lists, right?
Getting bad up here.
And for context, for those who don't know, I mean, you do run the biggest dissident media organization in the country.
I love this. They're like, okay, full disclosure, you're profiting off of all this, right? I just want to check. All this fear and tension that you're stoking, I just want to make sure you're making money from this, right?
So you speak with authority. Ezra, we are definitely rooting for you, and God bless and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Fucking, the fascist alliance. It's a act of solidarity for the fascist movements between Canada and the US.